Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyana. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Ritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva manusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim. O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Partha. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters, O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. So our reading of the 14th Adhyaya Gunatraya Vibhag Yoga is coming to an end today with the last shloka of this 14th Adhyaya. And Sri Krishna has throughout this Adhyaya, throughout this chapter, he has beautifully explained to us that how is it that these three gunas, the Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, Sattva guna, which is nothing but purity itself, it leads one towards the purity. It gives the enlightenment. It takes one on the path of knowledge, on the path of enlightenment. It doesn't give enlightenment, that is a different thing, but it takes on the path. And that is how the spiritual aspirants, they get this aspiration of what is the ultimate. Getting to know what is the ultimate, who I am, where from I have come, and all that kind of inquisitiveness, it just springs forth in the beings to know who I am. So that is the doing of Sattva. Rajas binds us in activities. Rajas will make us work, slog like a donkey for that matter. Work. And also there is at the back of mind, like Sattva. Unlike Sattva has at the back of mind liberation, at the back of mind enlightenment, at the back of mind there is always the thought of nirvana. But the Rajas and Tamas, they make a person behave in certain way that enlightenment becomes impossible. So Rajas is one that puts us in the activity, in the active form. Rajas also binds us with the materialistic tendencies. And Tamas, a good for nothing quality of this Prakriti, it just pulls us down, puts us into that moment of lethargy, gets us into that state of inertia, and we are absolutely good for nothing. So Sri Krishna has said that one has to cross over. One has to go beyond these three gunas if one has to attain oneness with the Lord. And then when Arjuna had asked that what way, how to know that how these people who have crossed over the three gunas, what are their signs like? What are their signs? How do they conduct themselves? How do they behave? And what is it that makes these great souls cross over the three gunas? What is it that these enlightened souls, they go beyond the clutches of the gunas? The gunas cannot bind them. What is it that they do? And that is what Arjuna had asked in that 21st verse. These three questions he had asked. And the last part of that question was, Katham cha etani trigunan ativartate. How do these people, How do these great souls, they go beyond the three gunas? What is that procedure? What is that way to cross over? And Sri Krishna, very compassionately, he had addressed this third portion of the question in that 21st shloka. That how is it that they cross over the three gunas? And Sri Krishna said that Mam cha yaha avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. Avyabhicharena, with unswerving. Bhakti yogena, with unswerving devotion. Mam sevate. Yam ma yaha mam sevate. Yaha is those who worship me, those who serve me, those who surrender to me with the unswerving devotion. These great souls, they surrender to me, they serve me with that avyabhicharena bhakti yogena. That unswerving devotion, they surrender to me, they serve me. Sa gunan samatitya. And thus, having crossed over, having gone beyond the three gunas, etan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. These people, they become fit. Kalpate, kalpate is they become fit. Fit for what? For brahma bhuyaya, or becoming one with the Brahman. And this is what Sri Krishna has told us in the 26th shloka. This is how the people cross over. There is nothing, no need for any, thousands of years of austerities and all that, standing on one leg for n number of years. Nothing is required, or standing upside down in that position for many, many, many years, begging to God. No need to do that. Sri Krishna says all one has to do is just with unswerving devotion, surrender to me. Give your power of attorney to me, that let me handle all your things. You realize yourself, it is the Lord who is handling my entire life. Whatever is happening to me in my life is the Lord's doing. I am not the doer. With that surrender, with that sense of surrender, with that sense of sharanagati towards the Lord, if one starts behaving like this, then Sri Krishna says, that person, that devotee, that great soul, he can gunan samatitya. He can cross over the gunas. And once crossed over the gunas, once freed themselves from the clutches of these downwards dragging gunas, the person is fit to become the Brahman. The person is fit to merge in the ultimate Parabrahman, the Paramapurusha. So that was Sri Krishna's advice to Arjuna and to us in the 26th shloka. And to that, Sri Ramakrishna had given that example that the bhaktas, the devotees, they have that opportunity to see Ishvara in various forms. During the initial stage of the journey on this path of devotion, they will look the Ishvara, they will look the Lord in so many different manifestations. For them, all the creatures in this world, all the beings in this world, they are just the manifestations of the Lord. But as they progress on this path of devotion, then that difference between the me and they, it just vanishes. Then they go beyond the three gunas, and then there is no difference. And as they come towards the end of the journey, as they move forward on that journey towards attaining the samadhi, towards attaining the transcendental meditation for that matter, they get into that state. They transcend the whole process of creation. And then that is the time when they realize that it is only the one Nirguna Brahman. That is how the devotees, they lead to themselves towards the Brahman. Like what Sri Krishna said, that the devotees, these great souls, having renounced the ownership of everything, with unswerving devotion, having surrendered to me, they cross over the three gunas. And once they cross over the three gunas, they don't see the differences then. They don't see me and you. Then there is only one Nirguna Brahman, the Parabrahman. So that was 26th shloka. Let us see today in this 27th shloka is the last shloka of this Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. Let us see what Sri Krishna teaches us in this. Brahmaṇo hi pratiṣṭhāham amṛtasyāvyayasya cha śāśvatasya cha dharmasya sukhasyaikāntikasya cha. Brahmaṇo hi pratiṣṭhāham. Brahmana is of Brahman, verily of Brahman, pratiṣṭhāham. I am the abode of that Brahman. I am that ultimate Brahman. That I told you that people come to the spiritual aspirants having dropped off their association with the three gunas. Having crossed over the three gunas, they make themselves fit to become one with the Brahman. And who is Brahman? Krishna says, I am that abode of Brahman. Brahmanaha hi pratiṣṭhāham amṛtasyāvyayasya cha. I am that immortality. I am that avyayasya. I am that immutable, unchangeable, indestructible entity called as immortality. I am that immortal Brahman. Then there is no more life and death. Then there is no more cycle of life and death. Because I am that immortal, indestructible, indivisible Brahman. That is, I am that abode. Śāśvatasya dharmasya. Śāśvata is eternal, everlasting. Cha dharmasya. And I am that path of righteousness. I am that dharma. Śāśvatasya cha dharmasya sukhasyaikāntikasya cha. Sukhasya is of bliss. And ekantikasya. I am that absolute bliss. That absolute bliss, what is talked about, the Satchidananda, the absolute existence, the absolute the knowledge and absolute bliss. Existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute. I am that, Sri Krishna says. So I am that eternal dharma. Śāśvatasya cha dharmasya sukha. I am also that bliss. What we all are hankering after, basically, we all want to enjoy that ultimate bliss. But what happens? We get drawn by the three gunas, and instead of bliss, we end up in the region of pain and pleasure. Instead of enjoying that absolute bliss, the absolute sukha, the parama shanti, we end up in the realm of joy and sorrow, happiness and unhappiness, pain and pleasure. In that region of the pairs of opposites, we get trapped by these three gunas. But once we cross over, then Sri Krishna says, it is nothing but one reaching the Brahman. And who is that Brahman? Sri Krishna says, I am that Brahman. I am that indestructible. I am that avyaya. I am that avyaya amṛtasya. I am that immortal Brahman. I am that abode. And śāśvatasya cha dharmasya sukhasyaikāntikasya cha. And I am that ultimate, all absolute bliss that people are seeking. I am that abode of peace. That I am that abode of the eternal dharma. I am that abode of the eternal righteousness, eternal truth for that matter. So this is what Sri Krishna ends up this 14th Adhyaya Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga with, the self-revelation for that matter. He has revealed now who is Krishna, who is the Lord, who is the Parabrahma. The Lord is the Parabrahma. And our journey is towards becoming one with the Lord. Krishna says, "For I am the abode of Brahman, the immortal and immutable, the eternal dharma and absolute bliss." That is what we all seek. We are all seeking. We are all seeking birth after birth. For millions of ages, we are seeking to become one with that. And this journey, sometime or the other, Sri Krishna says, you get away from the clutches of the three gunas. You go beyond sattva, you go beyond rajas, you go beyond tamas, and you become one with me. And becoming one with me means what? Becoming one with the one who is immortal, who is indestructible, who is immutable, changeless, and who is the eternal dharma and the absolute bliss. That is the ultimate objective for all of us to get into. And let us once again read the story that Sri Ramakrishna used to tell to his disciples, how these three gunas, they behave. We have already discussed it while talking about another shloka, but here to end this Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, this is the most apt example of how these three gunas, they meddle with our lives, and how the sattva brings us on the path of liberation, but doesn't give us liberation. The sattva guna also doesn't accompany us towards liberation. He takes us to the point, shows us the path. That is the way, my dear friend. Now you go and enjoy your nirvana, enjoy your mukti. I cannot come there, because if I come, police will come and catch me. So let us once again reread that story. A wayfarer, a traveler, was passing through a dense forest. Three thieves sprang on him and overpowered him. Forthwith, he was relieved of all his possessions. Whatever he had, these three thieves, they just snatched everything away from him. The first highwayman then drew out his dagger to do away with the victim, the first robber. He just took out his dagger. We have taken everything from this fellow. Now what is the use of keeping this fellow alive? Let us kill him. So he won't be able to complain to anybody that these people, they have robbed me. The second bandit pleaded against such a drastic measure and voted for binding the fellow fast and leaving him to his fate. The second robber said, no, let us not kill him. What good? We will accrue. We have already taken what is there with him. We will do one thing. We will bind him tightly with his will. Bind his hands, we will bind his feet and dump him here. That will be good enough for us. Let the wild beasts in the night, they come and devour him, have their dinner. Why should we put a blame of killing this person on our head? That is the second bandit, the second robber said. This counsel was acted upon and the thieves quitted the scene. So they just tied all the three thieves. They tied up this person, hands and feet, and dumped him there, taking away all his possessions. But in a short while, the soft-hearted third robber reappeared, released the victimized man, and kindly showed him his way back home. This fellow, somehow he was not comfortable of all the things that were happening to this traveler. He came back while his friends were moving ahead. He came back, untied the person, and he said, my dear fellow, I have got nothing against you. We have taken everything what you had. You are penniless now, doesn't matter. Now, here, take some money and I will show you the way. I will show you the way which will take you to your home. That was the third robber. The grateful wayfarer requested this unexpected savior to go along with him and accept his gratitude and hospitality. This victimized person, he said, oh, you are such a great person. You have untied my hands and feet. You have even showed me the path to go to my home. Now you please come with me. Let me serve you. Let me offer you a cup of tea, some sweets, some snacks. Come with me. But The third man said, but the stranger politely expressed his inability to go beyond his bounds. He said, all I can do is come here up to the border. I cannot cross it. You go. I have shown you the path. You go. You move forward. That is your home. I cannot come with you. And the man then reached his destination. Now Sri Ramakrishna says, the world is this forest. Three gunas are the three thieves, three robbers. Three gunas are the three robbers. The Jivatman is the wayfarer. The traveler is the indweller in our bodies. He is the traveler. The divine qualities are his possessions. That are the possessions of the Jivatman. The divinity, the divine qualities, the absolute existence, knowledge and bliss. That are the qualities. And these robbers, they have snatched away all those divine qualities from that wayfarer, from that traveler, made him penniless. Rajas, of the three gunas, tamas tries to destroy him. That robber who took out his dagger and said, let us kill him, that is tamas. Tamas is our destructor, for that matter. Tamas leads to our destruction. Rajas binds him with lust, greed and anger. Those ropes with which these robbers, they tied that person, the hands and feet. The hands and feet are the lust, greed, anger and all those six, the negatives that we carry with us. That is the binding. That is what binds us to the materialistic world, to the unreal world for that matter. And Sattva saves him from these fetters. The six fetters, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsara. Sattva saves us from these. Sattva unbinds us. Sattva removes all these fetters from our self and shows him the way towards home. Shows him the way to Godward. Sattva tells him, this is the path. Go, man, go. I am showing you. I have unbound you. I have removed your bondages. You are back with your original divinity, for that matter. Go and proceed. That is the way. That is the destination. Sattva, in fact, points towards the destination that is ours. But Guna, as it is, Sattva cannot have access to the proximity of Brahman. Even Sattva cannot go near Brahman. Sattva says, I cannot cross this boundary of the forest. My dwelling is here in the forest with my other two brothers, whether you like it or not. I have to be with Rajas and Tamas, and we three always stay together. I try to free people, and these two, the Rajas binds. The Rajas binds people with their six fetters and to the materialistic view, and Tamas is always busy in their destruction. So I can help you showing you the way. I can help you showing you the destination. I can help you showing you your ultimate goal. But even I cannot go there. I have to be with these two. Unless and until we are free from these three. We are free from these three culprits. Sattva also is good and purity, but still that is not the salvation. Sattva is not the liberation. Sattva is not the nirvana. Sattva is not the moksha. Sattva has to be with Rajas and Tamas. And therefore Sri Krishna says, be gunatita, be gunatita, be gunatita. So that was the Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, and Sri Krishna telling us how we can become gunatita, trigunatita. How we can cross over the Sattva, Rajas, Tamas and become one with the Lord. This beautiful adhyaya, the Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, comes to an end here. Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Supanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishnarjuna Samvade Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga Nama Chaturdashodhyaya. This 14th chapter designated the yoga of the three gunas. The description and discrimination over the three gunas comes to an end in this 14th adhyaya, which happens to be a part of the Upanishad. Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre, the science of yoga. Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade, this dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna. Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga Nama Chaturtashodhyaya. This 14th chapter comes to an end. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.